Welcome back to Lessertainment, the channel with the most deceptive name in all of YouTube. Hey guys, here we are again with another 8 tough guys trying to intimidate the crap out of their opponent, sometimes before the fight even starts. But as you know by the title, they completely failed. You gotta love the attempts by these people to get famous by doing something intimidating, going viral, and then actually pulling through in the fight and losing in the end. You also gotta love the fact that they became even more famous by completely failing and getting crushed in the actual fight. It's all about getting in the other person's head, but sometimes you just motivate the hell out of them. Wearing a mask to the face-off has become commonplace nowadays, and not because of the current situation. It's just fighters trying to intimidate their opponents, but this guy decided to bring an old trend by wearing a clown mask.
And this dude is still clowning around. Just don't know where that hand has been.
This guy actually dyed his hair green too, which makes it even sadder. Then guess how the fight ended? Well, it's just a 17-second knockout by the former hip-hop artist Fames of the guy dressed as the clown, Paul Teague.
Fight Teague did me here.
Ooh.
Fames slipped.
Can you imagine making so much drama with this mask and shoving the other guy only to get knocked out in such a dramatic fashion with the very first punch? You gotta give props to Fames though. That was a perfect counter shot. Just the way he ducks and puts all his power to the overhand right is a beautiful thing. The promotion didn't release the names of these two fighters, but one of these guys is just really anxious to get into the ring. And during the weigh-in, he lost his freaking mind. Why would he think that this was a good idea? A flying knee, if it lands, is really dangerous, and then trying it on your unsuspecting opponent, of course it's going to land. That poor guy was so hurt and concussed that he then attacked the security guard who rushed in there to try and help him. You know the weirdest part? The Mr. Knee guy was not disqualified or fired. They just postponed the fight to the promotion's next event. How dumb is that? He just cost you some money and hurt another fighter. Get rid of him. Now we have a guy during an actual fight that was trying to intimidate his opponent in a very popular way. That's where you drop your hands and ask them to hit you in the face while being at a safe distance and moving just in case they actually do swing at you.
Showing the toughness. Well, Frank, let's see it.
I hate when fighters do this. If you're going to ask to be hit with your hands down, then at least take one hit before you start dodging and covering up. Otherwise, it makes you look like an idiot. Later in the fight though, he got tricked by the oldest combination in the book. A jab to the body and a right cross upstairs.
He's not winning any rounds. Oh, that's hard right in. And now on the ropes and out of the ring goes Fernandez, and this fight is now over.
He flew out of that ring. He was only lucky that the stairs were there, or he would have fallen all the way down. He was already getting beaten up. Just look at his damn face. Now we have a complete moron. This guy is Alex Hannon, and he decided to just plain out punch his opponent, Andrei Mikhailovich, before the fight started.
Touch gloves and let's get it on, boy. Listen, mate, don't do that again. Don't get disqualified, you understand? Don't.
This guy could have easily been disqualified, but we all know that although we were furious, we all wanted Andre to get him back during the fight. Great thing that they let him go on, because now we get to see the idiot on the ground, regretting all of his life choices. Also, this guy got put down 3 times. Pretty sure Andre was hoping that he would get up every single time he dropped him, just so he could keep beating on him. He even yelled at him at one point when he was on his knees. Just awesome. This is probably the weirdest one that I have ever seen. With guys, they try to intimidate each other by acting tough with some shoving, putting your fist in their face, or yelling. But with these girls, they went in a very weird direction.
Dobrze, Malik postanowił, że tutaj nie będzie.
Yeah, you saw that right. That girl named Eva Brodnicka brought a freaking dildo to the face-off and just shoved it in Little Massey's face. I think she was shooting to get it in her mouth, but since she didn't open up, she just left it hanging there. Then rightfully, Little Masty got payback. Pretty sure the thing bounced off her face. She did deflect it a bit, but it still got her, and she tried to play it off, still acting all arrogantly. The fight was rightful karma in action. Lil Masty absolutely crushed Brodnicka, mostly dominated on the ground. She finished the job in the third round, making Brodnicka appear helpless. What's the best and fastest way to grow your name in sports? Well, that's to beat up a big name. Another way is to clown on a big name, and this guy decided to do this against the legend that is Saenchai. Saenchai is just like, just let me lean on you a little bit, bro. I'm old and you're young. I really do understand the push here, and it's a pretty small intimidation attempt. To be honest, I think he pushed him because he himself was intimidated. If he was really trying to have a go, he would have pushed him harder. The fight, well, Saenchai just clowned on him. After he got tired of making him look like a fool, he just put the pedal to the ground and ended it. Don't mess with the legends, man.
Are we going to see the cartwheel, Adam? Yes or no? Oh yeah, sure. Well, he's going to have to...
So we all thought that the Israel Adesanya fight against Paulo Costa was going to be exciting, with both fighters being very explosive, but it was kind of disappointing, and the knockout punch was even hard to see.
Leg again.
It looked like just a glancing left hook, but I guess it hit him right on the temple, and it just put him down. The lead up to this fight though had a ton of trash talking from Paulo Costa in particular, like this part where he gave Adesanya a white belt. Only Dana White got it bad here as the belt hit his hand, whipping around. This though was the funniest one, that actually got a little under Adesanya's skin.
Yeah, I like his earrings. He's beautiful.
I said I can fit it on him.
My mom has one.
I'll fit this on him on Saturday night.
I think my mom has one very similar of his way.
You wish your mom had one very similar. You wish your mom had one very similar.
Beautiful.
Shut the fuck up before I become your dad.
It was just a tiny bit, but Adesanya took to being called effeminate looking a little bit too hard. All this trash talking didn't work for Costa at all in the end. As we saw, he got destroyed by the king himself. We end with this guy trying to find his opponent's eyes by doing a weird duck and lean move. Well, he found him at the end. I always thought that fighters who don't look at their opponents during the face-off are a little intimidated and maybe scared. But there are so many fighters who look straight down, like Canelo for example. This guy tried to just look down, but this guy needed to look into his eyes. And then it just kind of got weird, with both guys making weird faces. The fight went the way we all wanted it to go. What the hell did we just watch? This guy doesn't even look like a fighter. He got hurt by a jab, and then was dropped by a hit partially blocked by his glove. He did stand up, but he looked terrified. Then he got knocked out in the funniest way possible, like a terrible actor getting shot in a movie. He goes down and acts like a Southern belle getting bad news and throwing herself on the bed. It was a terrible show. If you happen to enjoy any part of this video, please give it a like and subscribe, and also make sure to turn on those notifications. Trash talking and trying to intimidate your opponent can help get into your opponent's head, and it definitely sells the fight. But you better pull through or you will be made fun of forever. You will have to get off Twitter, because if you trash talk on your next fight or in your fight 3 years from now, people will remind you of this failure. Thanks for watching this video. See you next time. it.